Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for Cities Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Wednesday's What Map. Now we've had 2 days where the maps have been, shall we say, less than inspiring. So let's have a good one today, shall we? It's the MORAINE Falls by ecania. Now, we've had ecania quite a lot recently. In fact, we had them last week. Twice in 2 weeks is possibly too much, but I've been told I have to review this one because, well, because it's kind of dedicated to me. So I feel obliged to, but I promise you, if you're sick of ecania's maps, which you shouldn't be, well, we won't do another one for a little while, even if they produce one in the next 7 days. Right, so it says down there somewhere about how it's a big thank you to me and so forth. So yes, thank you for the nod, guys. Thank you very much indeed. Now there's a collection which you need to subscribe to. There's quite a few bits on there. And then there's a series of props as well, which you need to subscribe to, and there's quite a few on there. There's a Nordic theme, the LUT, and the LUT is one of Al's LUTs, the cinematic LUT. So there's quite a lot going on, okay, and quite a few lighthouses too. I'll leave you to decide whether or not I'm excited about that. Right, what have we got? We've got this, I'm going to say a template map. I mean, each time that ecania does one of these maps, they get better and better and better. And it's getting to the point that, oh, look, a disappearing tunnel. Hey, that's nothing unusual for ecania. Yeah, they get better and better and better. And it's going to get to the point that I question, oh, hello, it's one of these sexy little assets. Look, Skylines Talk. Be pleased to know we are actually recording the new series of Skylines Talk starting this week. That'll be back very soon indeed. Wrong turn at Albuquerque. Oh, thanks, Bugs. And then the ecania National Park poster. That's an asset produced by Mr. Miyagi, who is an absolute legend when it comes to map making, and also not half bad at doing assets also. Wow, they're all bending over for me for this map. It's lovely. I want to say bending over. I mean that almost literally. Hello, boys. Right, and we get to our intersection. Now this is the busy, fun, centrepiece intersection. Lots going on there. We could take any one of 5 different routes there, but we're taking this one. We're actually doubling back on ourselves. There's a reason for that, because there's another one of those signs there. And then we go across the river, perfect bridge, and that's the first one we saw already. And then as we curve around this way, and it's just the high standards all around, okay, just high standards. It's very difficult to critique. In fact, I spent the whole of the recording of this looking for flaws, for faults, to mark it down from 5s, okay, because there's another one, and over here across the other side of the bridge is another one. Lovely. It's a nice bit of advertising for me, me. I feel like Beaker from the Muppets. And there's another one. Right, where were we? Yes, so trying not to give 5 stars all around. Another one, look. Oh, I wonder if there's any more. Lighthouse on the left. Oh, straight past that one. And another one. Right, okay. Enough of the advertising. Let's, what was I looking at? Oh yeah, look at the hills. That's definitely ecania. Ecania's work there, isn't it? Definitely. Yes, disappearing, reappearing rails into tunnels. There's so much going on with this map and so many fine details, but it's the same sort of template that we see a lot of ecania, which is a big flat space within 25 tiles, which is nice, works nice, brilliant. Mountains in the background for just for aesthetics, really, often with waterfalls pouring off of them. And I'm just going to ask you, Mr. ecania, if you could very kindly do something a little bit different. Break the mold, okay? Because, I mean, this is great. This is great work. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, you could do another one of these every other week for all I care, because they're great. But it would be lovely to see, and I know you want to do fantasy maps rather than realistic maps, but it would be lovely to see one that's just a little bit different. Now this was one of my minor, if you're going to grumble about that, slightly glitching into the highway. Just slightly. I mean, I'm not marking down the map on that, okay? There's got to be something fairly serious, or a whole accumulation of minor things to lose a star for details. That on itself is not enough, and we are looking at there's a possible start location here. Good location, looks really nice. Lots of demolishing to go. I question, like I say, there's a few of you have said that you wouldn't like to play on the Canyons maps because there's too much. It's, you know, demolishing beautiful stuff and great work and whatever. Hello, Mr. Ship. You're going to go through there fine? Yes, of course. Now I understand that this map has been bond-proofed, as they're calling it. Yes, guys, bond-proof. Very clever. Check those tunnels where they're coming from and to make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. To make sure there's no flaws with it. Nothing that in one of my BonBonB reviews I can call up. And that tree obviously slipped through. It needed to be moved like 1mm to one side, really. But there shouldn't be anything wrong with this because it's been heavily checked, heavily tested. I'll be the judge of that, guys. I'll be the judge of that. But yes, now the rail is very busy. Okay, there's lots of rail routes absolutely everywhere, and the magic disappearing tunnels, which in the last map I grumbled about the angles that they were entering, going into and out of the land, and that was because it was supposedly a take on a real life a map as such, with South Korea. Let's check for that again. Where's that going? Over there, yeah. And so it was supposedly slightly realistic, although it was still the ecania template fantasy style map. But this is typically fantasy, so the tunnels going in at a sharpish angle. I mean, they're not super sharp. It's nothing major, and in this fantasy environment, crikey, where now? In this fantasy environment, I have no problem with those tunnels going like that. That's fine, okay? I'm not marking the tunnels down either. I'm desperately looking for a reason not to give 5 stars for details. Desperately, and it's a heavily detailed map. You'd think there'd be something somewhere, wouldn't you? I mean, checking out the rock work here. Look at this. Just look at the rocks down here. And the trees, the choice of trees, the colours. It's just glorious, mate. Absolutely glorious. Lovely little level crossing. Nice. And then another tunnel. I'm not going down another tunnel. Let's follow this route. I want to get out of this map somehow. I want to finish this little... now here's a question. Tunnel across there? Maybe I wouldn't have, personally. How do we get out of this place? I just want to get to the edge somehow. Let's go the other route. Let's see where that takes us. There you go. There you go. We're on it. We're on it and out. Finally, we can do an asset review. Finally. So we've got an outstanding map. Now we're looking at a small soccer park by Abysmor. Now this is one of their first bits of work on the workshop, I think, and they have actually asked if there's any props missing, because I think everything was vanilla. Well, as you can see, Mr. Abysmor or Miss Abysmor, there's quite a few little bits of bleachers are missing, the goalposts are missing, various other bits that I'm sure you'll recognise. So if you can update your asset with the relevant props, that would be particularly useful for everybody else who wants to use it, because it's a nice little asset. Small soccer park by Abysmor. Just needs a little bit of fixing. So there you go. Thanks very much, and have fun. Right, let's have a kick around on this park. There's the shipping routes. The shipping routes also a bit close to that post there, isn't it? Bit close to that post there, isn't it? I wonder. Anyway, the shipping route follows through here, goes through there. That's fine. That's all good. Joins up with the upper shipping routes and out down the other end through there. Okay, that's fine. No problems with that really, apart from that one question mark here. Let's just check to make sure this ship is going through fine, shall we? Shall we? It's going to go under fine. Yeah, plenty of room there, isn't it? Plenty of room. What am I going on about? Why am I moaning? Ah, that's because coming back the other way, this is going to be close. Ecania's hand is over his mouth right now, isn't it? There you go. Boom. Boom. There goes your star. Ah, Mr. Hawkeye, the BonBonB wins. I've gotcha. Gotcha. Ah, no, but seriously. The whole map, that is the worst thing on the whole map. Water flow, I mean, you can see here, it's just like gushing everywhere. But yeah, if you got a map this detailed, have one thing slip through, one thing, that doesn't really affect the map at all, because let's face it, you can just go and move that post using move it, and it's fixed. It's fixed. It's done. So I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. At the end of the day, the star ratings is just sort of like it's my little toy, really, isn't it? I tell you what, I'm loving the greens. Absolutely loving the greens, and the texturing here. They worked on the theme long and hard, and the theme is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Up in the fog here, which I like to think is mountain spray from off the waterfalls. Of course it's not, but I like to think it is. Down here, it's once again the rock work is just glorious again. It's stunning work. Nobody does this better than ecania. Nobody. Not a soul. And if you can find me a soul that does it better than ecania, please introduce me, because I would love to see their work. Absolutely love to. Anyway, where are we? Yes, we're now looking at the detailing and the terraforming. Well, in the middle, we know it's more or less flat. There's raised areas and slightly lower areas, but it's all buildable space. And yes, you'll have to demolish some pretty trees to make your city big and glorious and lovely. And these rocks, well, they'll have to go as well. But that's real. That's real life. You demolish trees and rocks when building a city. Nice castle. Very nice castle. Only thing I don't like about it is I didn't think of it myself. Okay? And what we got here, we've got a lighthouse that looks like a rocket. It's all powered up there. See the power unit behind? It's powered up there to shoot off into the sky. There it is. There's the power unit. See it? Between the trees. Shoot off into the sky. And what we're going to do when it goes into the... Oh! You meanie! You're not going to kill the seagull. Oh, we can, yeah. Oh, it's a big old rocket for killing a seagull, I've got to say. Where were we? Yes, we are more lighthouses. These are different styles. That one's tall, long, thin, pointy one. Not that all lighthouses aren't tall, long, thin, pointy ones. That was that red and white one on the other side of the map somewhere. We're not going back and look at today because we're getting towards the end of the video now, and heck, if you want to have a look at that, load the map, have a play, subscribe. Tell you what, you could go a long way wrong subscribing to this map. You really could. Or by not subscribing to this map. What am I talking about? I don't know. This has been a long video and it's starting to make no sense. Yeah, what we've got some ships. There's a ship near a waterfall. That's going to be a bit rough, isn't it? And there's a couple more over here with two more lighthouses, one on either side. And they're the fireworks one. Look at that. Lovely. And one on the other side. Oh, look at this ship. Yeah. And then over here, two ships. Oh, I'm blessed. I feel blessed. It's a beautiful map, isn't it? It's a beautiful map. And that, I've got to say, almost concludes. I just want to have a look at this little bit of water here, this lake, and look at the way, I mean, virtually the entirety of that is all water. There is something to be said, though, that with the amount of water on the map, it does mean there's slightly less build space. So that's something to consider as well, if you were looking for a huge build space. But of course, you can terraform out, make some room of it. If you can control the water, that is, because there is torrents of it. Bath loads. Aesthetically, let's just get this straight, okay? I am not marking it down from a 5. There's nothing more that ecania could have done with this map at all. Detailing, I'm only losing a point for that that crashing ship. That's all I can think of. Everything else is just minor, and the tunnels I'm happy with for this particular map. Gameplay potential. Right, okay, a lot of people are going to be moaning about having to demolish beautiful trees. It's not a very realistic map, blah de blah. For those people, I am going to bow and say yes, you're right. I give it 4 stars for gameplay potential. The map itself is fine, could do with a little bit more build plane because of all that flushing water, but it's gorgeous. Moraine Falls, ecania. Gets a BonBonB seal of approval. Well, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me tomorrow for yet another What Map in the What Map series. I can't promise it'll be as good as this one. I can't, okay, it won't be as good as this one. I don't know, I've not checked yet. Let me have a look. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, hello.